inventor, CEO.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they're like cutting tile or some shit over there. I'm like, why today? Why right now?
Well, the driving dynamic.
That parking lot?
Well, there's like that parking
pit?
lot. I was like
parking
in a parking
lot?
side, but I'm like, no, actually, I think I will go through there. But I think I took driver's ed at the driving whatever school.
Right. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have mentioned that, actually.
Yeah.
They're like, I did driving school here.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if it's still here. The sign is out there.
Oh, but they're not.
But
I haven't seen anyone in that room
don't know
since we've
if
been here.
they ever took down their sign. Okay.
But it's a good memory for everyone.
That's what I'm thinking.
It makes people
Nostalgia.
feel comfortable.
Yeah,
because
brings
they're
back
always
memories.
a little scared when they first walk in.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, looking
It's a
at
little
the building.
sketch.
Yeah.
Well, first, the pothole pit, and then you're like, there's no way I'm in the right place.
Like we are. Are we in the
And
right
this water's
place?
for you also.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. We're here.
We made
We're all here today.
We should probably add that to the direction. Like,
What?
look for the big potholes
Oh,
at the
you know
entrance.
you're in the park-
And if
the-
you're not at the
Yeah.
pothole entrance, then you're in the wrong place.
It's a good idea.
That is true.
And then they
help.
decide
Hope they
to
don't
fix
fill in
it.
the potholes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The odds are really low.
I don't think they're good. Yeah.
So true.
I already complained, so we'll see what happens. Okay, shall we get started? Okay,
thanks.
welcome to the Film Garage 208 podcast. My name is Sarah, and this is Daniel.
Hello.
Hello. Today we have with us Emily, who is the mastermind behind the Porcupine.
That's right.
Yes,
That was
mastermind.
nice.
the mastermind.
Yeah, I thought you were
Kind of
gonna.
rhymed.
Yeah.
Oh,
A little bit.
Kind of does.
I didn't notice, but it does.
It does.
It does. Okay, so tell everybody what exactly is the Porcupine.
Okay. Porcupine is a hiding place for shower hair, which is quite the concept for people.
Okay.
But you'd be surprised. More times than not, people are washing their hair, shampooing it, conditioning it with like people with long hair.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out, right? It's just natural. I think people lose 50 to 100 strands of hair
So they say.
just a day, right?
Bitches, I'm like, how does the math add up?
I know, seriously. But more times than not, they put it on the shower wall.
Yeah,
Because what happens if it goes down the drain?
right.
Clogs the drain.
Clogging the drains.
Then you have to clean that out. So there's just had the thought one time, why isn't there a spot for it? So
Yeah. And that's essentially it.
That's
a spot for
essentially-
your shower hair.
spot for your shower hair. But the main thing that, like, surprisingly enough, there's a couple different ideas of this out there already.
Oh, is there?
And so the main point is that it hides the shower hair.
Yeah.
So people put it on the shower wall and then they go about their shower. They get out. There are some clean people. Let's ask you, do you put your hair on the shower wall? It's okay if you don't. Oh, see? He's like, yeah.
Well, maybe it'll be like a straggler hair that kind of like makes it to the wall. But I'll see like I think you've mentioned before, it can be like triggering to see that wad of hair.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of like put it to the side and like it's the first thing I kind of like toss to the
because
side.
it's gross.
Yeah, I don't want to see it anymore.
yeah.
Like, don't remind me of how much hair I just lost.
Yeah. Your reaction, the husband's reaction, that's the best. When I first started this and like orders were coming in, I'm like, oh, Mark, Matt, Jay. It's all men ordering it for their
That makes sense, though.
spouses. Yeah.
That's really funny.
But
Can you walk us through it? I just like, you can hold one up and
Yeah.
how does this even work?
so the bristles, whenever I say this, I feel like I've got this like elevator pitch just like
You got it ready to
down.
go.
You know what I mean? It's
okay,
like
let's get it.
on repeat.
Okay.
But the bristles on the inside, so I can flip it inside out. The bristles on the inside help remove the hair from your hands and like contain it in one place. So they're structured to where they're angled differently. So when you go in with the hair on your hand and you go in
Right.
from the bottom, they're angled up. So when you come down, it pulls it off your fingers and it keeps
like
the hairball
hooks it.
in there.
Yeah. That's a good
Or
idea.
you can go from the top.
Yeah.
And then you have like the holes on the top and bottom that allow water to drain, air to circulate, which dries the hair inside pretty quickly. It also, it doesn't get gross and moldy. I actually got a DM the other day from a friend saying, I finally cleaned out my porcupine. She's like, after a year. I'm like,
After a year?
That's what I said. I said, why didn't you take a picture of all that hair in there? She's like, I'll do it next year. I'm like, oh my gosh, clean that out more. But her point was, it wasn't moldy. It wasn't gross because like the hair dries in it and it like drains. And so but that most people like prefer cleaning dry hair than like the gross slime
Sure.
hair. So like the drains like on your tub, they can get gross because you've got like all the body wash and the soap
It's
or
true. It
shaving
gets-
cream, whatever. It just gets kind of gross. So putting it, directly on here and letting it dry, it makes it easier to clean.
Yeah.
So you can use it multiple times, and it kind of ends up like pushing the hair towards the
Just like a
top.
hairbrush.
Yeah. So you can use it, and then when you want to clean it, like I showed before, you flip it inside out. It's like super easy. The hair just falls out because it's dry.
You said there were other products like this?
Yes.
I've like never seen this in my life.
Yeah. So
before yours.
Yeah. So there, in the beginning of when I was deciding on if I wanted to get a patent or not, there was one that was actually on Shark Tank
Really?
called the Hairy Grabster.
What a weird name.
Right? And like,
I don't like the name.
Hairy
Wait,
Grabster. So that was like sad for me because
Harry Crabs.
Yeah, like your dream's on the TV.
my
and you're like,
dream was
"Dang
on
it."
the TV, and I like did all my like product research, tried to find it. There was nothing. And then I saw that and my like heart just like stopped. I was like, I just started putting
Don't you
in
hate
so
that?
much money into this.
Oh, and you were already like investing and working on it.
Investing and working on it. And there we go, right? But theirs isn't very like different from the wall. Like that has like little sticky bristles.
Okay.
And so it definitely, I bought one immediately.
Yeah,
Because
for
I'm like,
sure.
I got to test this out.
Yeah.
Compare it. It's sticky. And so it like pulls the hair off your hands really well. But then
Okay.
it's like impossible to clean because it's like so stuck in it.
So it's like plastic like that, but it's just like a more sticky
Yeah,
type
and
of
it's just
material.
like you just slap it on the wall and you just
Oh.
see it. So it's like not different from me putting it on.
It's like still the same
still
thing.
see
See
everything.
it. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, there's that, and then there's like another one that's smaller, but you like swipe your hand in it and it holds the hair. So like the same thing, you have hair like just hanging out. So that was like my main thing was I want it to be hidden.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Because when I started doing like more research on it, more times than not, people forgot to take the hair off the wall and put it in the garbage. And so it would either dry up, fall on the floor, go down the drain and clog it, or their significant other would like come in and it's like, oh, it's so
Yeah,
gross.
just, ew.
And more times than not, they're like, yeah, my husband just throws it away. I'm like, that's true, right? He's doing your job, whatever. But yeah, so I wanted it to be like appealing and like, earth tone colors, more
Yeah.
calming, to just fit like the whole vibe
Yeah,
of
I
just
like it.
relaxing in the shower.
Yeah. No, it's a really good idea.
So,
It's a cool concept because I would have only thought of putting something over the drain, not putting something on the wall for, like,
right.
Catch it
yeah.
or
No,
put
it's-
it somewhere.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. Some people, I had somebody reach out saying that
But then that's gross because you have to clean out a drain thing, and
Yes.
that's just
That's
it's just
nasty.
as
and that's what
gross.
she said. She
Yeah.
would still put it on the
almost
wall.
worse.
She would still put it on the wall, even though she had the drain thing.
Right.
Because she's like, I don't like cleaning all that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Okay, so you weren't discouraged by seeing this on TV on Shark
not
Tank.
enough to make me quit.
Okay.
So I
So what?
took a little bit of recovery.
Okay.
But we got there.
Hyperventilated a little
A
bit.
little bit. I was actually in Florida. I could even tell you the exact. I was like on a vacation. One of my best friends and my dad text me like almost at the same time and said, "Did you see Shark Tank this week?" And I was like,
Holy shit.
"Oh my gosh, dang it!" So,
Yeah.
but then we recovered. So
Okay, so how
good.
far were you into the process already?
I think
What's the step that it?
yes.
What did you go through to get here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had the idea in 2020.
Okay.
We're all spending too much time at home,
Uh-huh.
right?
We're all thinking really
We're all
hard.
thinking. So I really dug deep into it, like hiring like a designer, trying to look into the, research at the end of 2020. And then January, I started reaching out to patent attorneys. Because that's the thing.
That was the first step already.
That was the first step.
Interesting.
Was if I think it's a good enough idea that I want to protect it and like people can't knock it off, then I need to just get that started.
Interesting.
So you reached out to the patent attorney before you saw the Shark Tank episode?
Yes.
Oh,
it was
it was before the episode?
Shark Tank was in March of 2021.
oh.
okay.
So, and that was another like stab to the heart was I just paid a couple $1,000s to
man.
like get the process going of a patent.
Yeah.
And so that was like in January, I think, that I filed the first patent. I could go off on that too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm curious about that also.
Yeah, so
I do have questions.
And I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
But from what I know, you can file, oh my goodness, now I know nothing.
Now we don't know. Now we don't remember.
No, we don't remember. The term will come to me. But
Yeah.
you can file a patent that is only good for a year. It kind of like locks your spot
Only
in.
a year. Interesting.
And it protects you for that first year. And
It's
then
like it's like a idea patent in a way.
I figured it out, the words.
What?
Provisional patent.
Okay.
That's the one that you can have for a year. It like protects you because everything's like on a timestamp.
Okay.
So like if anything prior to that timestamp exists, you potentially like couldn't get the patent because they're like, it already exists. But you put a timestamp on that, so like January. And then I had a year to like make sure I really wanted to pursue it. I could make changes to it. And then
So like with the literal guidelines of what the patent says.
yes, yeah, and like the design.
Okay.
And then you file a non-provisional patent, which is the actual patent that gets sent to the patent office.
Okay.
Is
that like a
it's
United
law
States
stuff that just
patent
doesn't make
thing?
sense to anybody?
It's like where you
but-
get your actual certificate you could put on the wall that's got your specs. And so
Well,
I've seen that at other places.
Yeah. I brought that. I have the patent book because it's interesting. You don't have any idea.
No, I have no idea about any of this.
Yeah. So once I filed the actual non-provisional patent, then they send all the words that those attorneys write. It makes no sense because you have to be broad enough to cover it, but specific enough to
Yeah, that someone
protect
can't
it.
copy that
Yeah.
exact thing.
And then
That's tricky.
and then it could take anywhere from like 2 to 5 years for it to get approved.
Oh, wow.
So it like has to go to the patent office for them to look at it, see if there's anything else, see if it, they can come back to you and be like, this doesn't work because of this other product. Like you would be infringing on them. And so then you'd have to like redraft it and like send it back.
Interesting.
Did you have redrafts?
I didn't.
Okay.
So I don't know if I told my attorney, I'm like, you're just really good at your job. You did it right the first time. But I think it's just unique enough
Yeah.
that there's not much
Well, good for you.
out there.
That it's a unique enough product that there was no
so
one else. That
I own a patent now, which
How exciting.
is crazy. It's kind
is
of
that something that you could like sell eventually?
I
like
think-
that would go if you were to like sell your product.
Yeah,
like,
and
that
I
would
think
be a
it
bonus.
adds, yes, and adds a lot of value to it for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Did that
was-
Shark Tank one? Did they have a
They
patent?
did,
Yeah.
yes. And so that was something that I looked into to make sure that we weren't infringing on them, right?
Yeah.
And the main thing with mine is that it's enclosed.
Sure.
Which is
that's the difference.
great.
Yeah.
No, I like that. That's really, really cool.
I grew up with sisters, and
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
the only
shower.
boy with sisters.
so I was just like, hair on the wall is just like,
Normal.
no.
No. Oh, no, it's
So I was
not
gonna say,
normal.
you would think it'd be normal because you think you'd just be used to it, but it was always gross.
Yeah,
And I don't know why it's
sure.
gross. It's just like hair, but
I know.
like it's like my hair falls out, but it's just when it's longer and you see it. I don't know why.
Did they ever leave you messages? That was a new one to me. People like would write things and draw things. I'm like, well, you've got too much time in the shower. Like,
Yeah.
what's that?
No, they didn't do that, but they definitely left the wads of, you'd spin your finger on the wall
Yeah.
and just be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your sisters had long hair too.
Oh, yeah.
They had
Yeah,
long
it
hair.
And
So-
I've also learned darker hair.
I would have bought this for them.
Yeah, exactly.
If that was still going on. Yeah.
Christmas present.
I've had a couple guys that have said like, I'm a father of 3 or 5. And he's like, I needed this 10 years ago.
Well,
No,
and
it
if I
makes
was
sense.
washing my own hair and had long hair and I had it on my hands, like that would be annoying to just have to
Yeah.
like deal with
Right.
instead of just like,
Yeah.
Well, at one
wipe.
point in college, I had 4 or 5 roommates that were all girls. And I swear, I'd never had, because I always kind of had my own bathroom a little bit. Like I never had the drain clogging issue with like
Right.
hair, And I swear, we had that plumber come in so many times to fix the clogged drain in that tub.
sure. Yeah.
And in like 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how much hair was coming out of all of these females
It's
in
crazy.
this apartment.
sell
and-
these to plumbers.
Yeah. Seriously though.
Honestly.
Or like
yeah.
college
college dorms.
Yeah.
Like it's like in the shower.
Mandatory in the shower.
Mandatory that you have this.
That's a good idea.
Because there's just you're what was it? I had one of my kids' friends saying that they take a bath shower, and I'm like, a bath shower?
Because the shower fills.
Because the bath fills as they're like showering because it's
clogged.
Like, it's so fun.
Ew.
But it's true though, gross, right?
Gross.
And that's when you realize that your shower is clogged. Just because now
it's a bath shower.
it's a bath shower.
Yeah, you're taking a
Patent that name.
So are these one size fits all?
It is just one size.
No one's had a hand that won't fit?
I actually have had someone return it because of that.
Oh,
What?
no?
Really?
Because they felt like it was too small. Yeah.
Oh,
so
Wow.
it's a whole
It's
nother
a decent
story.
size.
But
Interesting.
Yeah. And that was a thought I had was I could have like a 2 sizes, right? Because like if you have longer hair, you might want more. You'd have to clean it more. But then
I don't know.
I had to buy a tool to make this.
Buy a tool.
Like the factory, right?
Okay.
Like I own the factory's tool that makes this product.
Like a press or like a mold?
Yes,
or
like a
something.
mold. And so I would have had to have done 2 of those.
Yeah. Double
'Cause
the cost
size
now.
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
So
that's-
where do you manufacture? Do you outsource?
It's overseas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah. How did you find these people? How did that happen?
Oh man, it's like if anything I've learned, it's all about who you know. It's like
yeah?
random connections of like, my mother-in-law works with somebody that has a cousin that did a product with somebody that knows some. Honestly, it was like such a random like domino effect.
Yeah.
So I work with a company based out of Utah.
Okay.
I always say the name wrong, so I might butcher it, but Cluconics, I think is
Okay.
how you pronounce it.
Okay.
I read it, but
not
I
even
don't.
gonna try to say
I
it.
don't even say it enough. So sorry.
Sorry, whatever your name is.
yes.
Cluconics.
No, but they've been like my saving grace.
Okay.
Because I tried to contact manufacturers in the U.S. because I'm like, of course, I would love it to be manufactured here, but they wouldn't take my call. Or they like wouldn't respond, or it was a lot of money. I had one person respond back that told me, but I was in contact with them. I tried like through Alibaba or something to connect with somebody at one point.
Yeah.
And you just hear horror stories of like sending them the files and then they mass produce it or like,
Interesting.
anyway.
Steal
you just
your
can't
idea.
steal your idea.
For like a fourth of the cost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So would your patent, is it only in the United States?
It
So if
is
that
only in
happened,
the
it'd be
United
like, I
States.
see. Okay.
Yes.
I
You
see.
can do international, but then you have a whole
That's so much.
nother game.
That's so much.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
That's kind of
to
what
not-
a few of the other people who have been on with products have said.
What?
Where I've asked if they've been afraid of like someone like knocking their idea and just doing it cheaper, and they're like, I just hope not.
Yeah, seriously.
kind of interesting that
Yeah,
there's
like
no
actually
like.
don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. No, but it's true though. So
Okay.
when I found them, they already have part of their like team over in China, and they, have a factory. They like reach out to multiple different factories, get estimates for different ones, and they've been over there for a few years, so they have relationships with people over there.
Yeah.
And so I was just so grateful that I found them because they're the middleman between me and the
Yeah. So
manufacturer.
you don't
or something.
literally have to do that.
Yeah. And so like I'll be on emails with, the team over there, and it's just really fun. Like their broken English and like how they are trying to explain things,
Yeah.
But even like the concept can be so like, I'm in the process of developing another product.
Okay.
And so just the communication barrier of like, it's supposed to do this or that they don't quite interpret the same way. It's very interesting. So, but yes, it's overseas. I found a company through Utah that I'm still working with.
Yeah. And with your new product.
And with my new product,
too.
they've helped me design it
Interesting.
and
Okay.
go through that. So
Wow.
it's been great.
How does that design process? How'd that work?
Yeah.
Like, what was the first thing you had to do to get on board with them?
Yeah. So I was a little different. I came to them already with the design. I found like a freelance designer in Tennessee and worked with him, putting it all together, and we would like go to Bed Bath & Beyond or Target and look at different silicone types, different brushes, different ideas to try to like get the design in our head. And so I already had the file. I just needed the manufacturer. So the first time, so with the Porcupine, I approached them already with the design. And so their engineers made a few little tweaks.
Yeah.
And then we did manufacturing. With the new product, I just came to them with the idea, and we just have had meetings with their design team of, this is what I'm wanting.
Yeah.
This is what, this is what they think. And then they would come back to me with like 6 different ideas of my idea. And then we'd like intermingle what I like from this one and this one.
That's cool.
And then they'd come back with more, and then until you
So
find,
is that design
like,
team
your
the one that's in Utah, or are they in China?
No, they're in Utah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good that they're like kind of local for that sake,
Yes.
for that part.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so interesting.
Yeah. So
It's a process.
Did you go there for all those meetings, or is it just over the phone?
Over the phone.
Or
Yeah.
Zoom,
Just
whatever?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's definitely a process, and you can do a lot of this. And I've done it all on my own, but at the same time, like outsourcing, you pay for what you get. So like, it's definitely an added cost, but for like me, it's been like, well worth it.
Probably in the time that it saves you.
Yes.
And the headache and
even down to the patent, like I could have filed my own patent for $300 or something, but
Sure.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And let alone know if you did it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, though.
For sure.
It's like paperwork and
Yes.
documents. It's like, who knows what you would have patented in the end.
Exactly. Yeah. I would have been
Something
thinking
else.
one thing and that's saying something else. So
You never know.
for sure.
Wow. Well, that's so cool hearing like the whole process of doing this.
Yeah.
What's your background? Like
Let's hear about you.
Oh, let's hear about me.
How'd you get into all of this?
Yes. So I went
Besides seeing your hair on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. I went to nursing school.
Okay.
So I worked as a nurse for probably 4 or 5 years. My husband's currently a resident. So we traveled for him to do dental school, and now he's doing like an oral surgery residency, so medical residency. After we had our second baby, I stopped working and just stayed at home. And I've just always been creative, like with, I don't know, everything, just thinking through things. Like when I came to my husband with this idea, I think he was just like, oh, okay, yeah, yep, another idea of Emily, like another one. So
Gave it a half thought.
Yeah, little did he know that this was the one that I'm like, no, we're going to do this one.
Yeah.
So I've always like had the thought process, and love Shark Tank, just watching what people come up with. Very fascinating, but I had no idea the process.
Yeah.
Or the timeline, or
Yeah, so you said
literally
you started
nothing.
this 2020?
2021.
2021, so we're like 3 years in.
Yeah, and then I did like a pre-order at first. A little bit of like
How'd that go?
testing the waters.
Yeah.
It was good because I went viral on social media.
Nice.
Like right as I was doing
Perfect.
the pre-orders. It was.
On
But
like
at the
Instagram or TikTok?
On Instagram.
Okay.
What was the video?
Just turning on a shower and having the prototype. Well, like this one right here.
Okay.
So I didn't even have the actual like silicone one. This was
I was gonna
my
say that
video.
looks harder.
Yes.
What is that?
This one is harder?
This
Plastic?
is just like a plastic type.
Oh, okay. It's still like
Fill.
pretty. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the video.
Yeah.
It got like, I think it was 36 million views.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was
On Instagram too.
on Instagram.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Wow.
And I was so afraid. Okay, so like back up. So October of 2021, I was in the process of the manufacturing. And I don't know if you've heard of Pinners Conference.
Pinners Conference.
It's based out of Utah, but it
I
goes
have not.
it goes to like Arizona, California,
Travels?
Georgia, goes everywhere.
Okay.
And it's technically like a DIY. So like do it your own self. It's like a spin-off Pinterest. per se.
Like a market?
Yes. So
Okay.
you would go and like people who do like sign paintings or like crafts.
Okay.
But it kind of has twisted into also like small businesses.
Okay.
A lot of like, I feel like mommy boutiques, like for babies.
Okay.
Yes.
So
All basically homemade stuff.
Well,
Is that
it
just small shop.
It
Small
started
shop?
that way, but it's turned into like small shop
okay?
type of thing. I was like thinking that I was going to get my product in time and wanted to just test it out at that like show or
I
market.
see. Okay.
But I didn't.
It didn't get here in time?
It didn't get here in time.
Okay.
And so I already paid for my booth.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Great.
well, I could do pre-orders.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just need to get my name out.
Because you had a prototype, right?
Because
So you could see it.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I had this.
Yeah.
But luckily I was able to get this one, which is still not like the final design. Like the holes are a little different.
Okay.
But I at least had this for the show.
Yeah.
But the show was in November and I was afraid of social media. I'm still afraid of social media. Social media's a beast.
Yeah, people can be mean.
So mean. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm
People are
pretty
just
sure
mean.
people just sit on their couch and just like
Just troll.
are just mean.
Wait,
Yeah.
what's like something mean someone would say about this though?
I'm sure people come up with anything mean to say.
there was like one of not
need an
my
example.
favorite. Okay,
Sure, like,
so
give
like
me-
another white person coming up with a plastic product or
Okay.
like see the
Oh, saying like
Just-
just like those comments.
just mean
Okay.
comments.
Yeah, where you're
Just
it's just not even
attacking-
relevant.
Yeah, and
Like,
more
that has
times than
nothing to
not,
do
I
with
just
this.
brush like, who cares, right?
Yeah.
But when you're having a bad day sometimes, and somebody's like, "This is so stupid," I'm like,
Yeah. You can only delete
Dang it,
so many
was that- is
comments
it so
before it
stupid?
hurts.
You're so stupid.
Yeah, exactly. No, it would be entertaining. You could probably go find that video on Instagram that has 36 million views and like just scroll
All the
through the
comments are in there.
Yeah. Some of them took them a little far of like just inappropriate
Yeah.
and just like you'd be amazed, you know. So people are entertaining.
Another example.
Yeah.
Oh, people.
No,
I'm just kidding.
okay, well, we could go there.
Keep pushing this.
So, okay,
back to the market.
See, I can go off. Back to October 1st was my deadline to start a social media account.
That you gave yourself.
That I gave myself. That was my deadline because I
Okay.
had the show in November. I'm like,
Right.
people at least need to know that I'm like,
That's true. Like what this
trying.
product is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then Instagram's just I don't know how Instagram or TikTok work, but a video took off. And
That's still so crazy.
Yeah.
That's
6
awesome.
million.
Yeah, like within 2 weeks. So I went from like 126 of like my friends and families like following me, trying to be
Yeah.
supportive, to like over 20,000.
That's insane.
yes, followers within a 2 to 3 week timeline.
That's amazing.
So then I went to Pinners
Okay.
and had like the prototype and was
Yeah.
like, you know, it's in the process. We're doing pre-orders. I opened it up that weekend.
Yeah.
That was the other kind of frustrating thing was like, people are like, where can I get this? I really want this. And I'm like,
That's so annoying.
pre-orders,
Yeah.
you know, like 6 months, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are like so on board and so supportive. And then other people are just like, whatever.
I'll get it when I
Yeah.
get it.
They
Yeah.
told you it would be at least 6 months.
So my timeline was about March to April.
Oh, it must have been so frustrating.
So here's the other thing. With
And
it
you were in
going
November.
viral,
November.
with it going viral,
Yeah.
I was still finalizing my final sample. Like I didn't expect
yeah.
It's a
it
pop
to
off
take-
like that.
to take off like that.
Wow.
So I like have people wanting it as I'm like finalizing everything and getting the manufacturing started.
Like
Yeah.
you've never even received one true batch order yet. Like,
No.
and you have 20,000 people
Yes.
now seeing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your
so I'm
idea.
like, what the?
That's stressful
wow.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Right, because you can't
All
even
these people
confidently
counting
say
on-
like I can deliver because you just don't know yet at that point.
Yes. And at that point, it's like not too far from 2020. So like the ports
After 2020.
after 2020,
things slowed down.
Things slowed down. People weren't like letting things come in the country.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I hope the
that
ship
was a terrible
shows
time
up with
that.
all these boxes.
Yeah.
And then people paid me. That's what
The pre-order. 'cause
That's
now
what
you have
I
money.
always joke. I'm like, people paid me for something that didn't exist yet. Like it did, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I didn't have it to like hand to
Yeah.
them. And so people, I don't know how we got off on this, but people got their product in April of 2022.
Okay.
And then my orders opened, and they've been open ever since then.
Ever since
So like 2022 is technically, I would say,
2022.
when it started.
We know with someone else that just launched a product that we took photos of. They sold out in like a minute of their last launch.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the comments and people were getting a little nasty.
They're so mad that it sold out.
Yeah, they were so mad.
I know.
So mad.
Yeah.
And so I could just see your situation
Yeah.
of like not having it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sure people got a little feisty about that.
Oh, for sure. And it's like trying to like ride the wave of like it going viral. But I like, that's when I'm like, I got to open up pre-orders.
Did you have a website set up when it went viral?
I think it was in the process. I don't think I did yet.
So these people were seeing this ad and trying to look you up and probably couldn't even find you.
Yeah. No, I think I launched
Besides,
my
like,
website
account.
the week before Pinners Conference.
Yeah.
No, that's a lie. It went live like the day before. And then we opened up the pre-orders. We said it was going to open up at like 8 a.m. But my friend's brother was the one that helped me create the website. And he's like, I'm just going to open up at midnight so we can like just go to sleep. And then we like started getting orders.
At midnight?
Like, at midnight. And I was like, oh my gosh. That's is
so exciting.
Fun. Yeah. So
that's so exciting.
But yeah, no, they couldn't find us. Like, we don't see anything on Amazon or whatever. And I'm like, it's going to be launching soon. Sorry.
Just save your hair on the wall till then.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep having the problem so that you'll want the solution.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So, I'm just impressed that. So you started your Instagram and then like a week or two later already had a viral video for this product.
Yeah. And
that's amazing.
Yeah.
It shows this was a product that was like necessary too for it to like blow up like that.
For sure. It's intriguing.
So now that you've had like a constant couple years where you've been doing this like regularly, has it changed like your process at all? Like how you make them or where they're produced or?
Yeah. So I would say that was not a mistake that I made, but because it went viral, I was like, okay, there's a lot of interest. So I got a lot of inventory. So I'm like almost finishing up with the inventory that I originally got.
No way.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I haven't, the only thing that I've had to manufacture since then is this back piece.
Okay.
Which is
another hot topic sometimes because suction cups.
Sure. Okay.
There's a lot of different shower surfaces.
Yeah.
I have one of myself that can be like hit and miss with suction cup because it's like more of like it's not a shiny finish.
If it's like a stone or porous or something like that.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So, when I tested it out, it seemed to work well, but everything was also happening so fast that it's like I didn't test it out for months or weeks or it was weeks, like months or years, right? Yeah. And depending on how clean your shower, like you could stick it up on glass and it would stay, but then
it's like some slimy old glass.
Yeah, or like if it's got hard water spots or whatever, like suction cups aren't very forgiving.
Sure.
And so with like feedback from the customers,
was that within like the first couple months then that you were getting that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were like, it's just not staying on. But in the meantime of me trying to create this, it was designed to where you could set it like it stays on like a shelf, right?
Okay.
Or like you could like hang it on. I had people that would hang it on like a little hook. They'd get like a hook, or if they had like a shower caddy, they could put it on that. Yeah. So it definitely is versatile as far as like it can be placed different
you can figure it
places. Yeah. But this back piece I created to where the suction cups just like slide down on into it.
Yeah, that's nice.
And this is on the wall just with like a 3M semi-permanent tape. It's like not going anywhere. But also when you want to remove it, it's
Yeah.
easy to remove. It's not going to like damage anything.
That's smart.
And
Yeah,
so,
that's a good idea.
And they don't have to buy a whole new unit.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I have these that I have to put in all the boxes.
So you're supplying that with all of the
Yes.
purchases
so
now?
now it's included. Just, do what you want with it. Or if like people, want an additional one. So like that's like a big thing. Like with the community and like I don't want people to be like, oh, they're just trying to like scam me or like this doesn't work or whatever. Like I want like the communication of like, here's the feedback, I'm trying to fix it.
They can see you're taking that into account.
Yeah. Yeah. And so if people like pre-ordered it and didn't have it, I like for weeks or months or had like a form that they could fill out and I just sent this to them like at no cost. Right. And so
that's a lot out of your pocket.
it is. Yeah, for sure. But
That's
shipping and
super
all of
smart
that.
though. I mean,
Yeah.
I bet you got so many loyal customers out of that.
that's like what I wanted to like. I would hate it if I'm like, well, great, now I can't use this.
Yeah.
But no,
Like
but
now
then,
you can buy this piece and then they're like,
now
dang it. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
We just had that happen with one of the things that we bought, that light cone.
Yeah.
A button broke, and it was just like something where I emailed their customer service fully expecting them to just be like, well, you got to buy a new one or
Right.
tough or something, because
Yeah,
they could have.
for sure.
And they were just like instantly sent a new one before I even knew it. Like when they responded to my email, it was on the way.
Yeah.
And like just my perception of that company now, like I would recommend them to anyone.
Oh, for sure. And that's what I want is like them to feel like, I say this, I feel like a lot on social media, like I'm new at this. I don't, which could be good or bad, right? But like I want them to like see the development of things because nobody has any idea. Like all the time people are like, oh, I have an idea. I want to do this.
Yeah.
It's like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's going to take like more time than you think. It's going to cost more than you expect.
It's not instant.
And it's not probably going to turn out like you want it the first time, right?
Sure.
And so I feel like building that like community and like trust of like me being like straight up, like I'm figuring this out with you.
Yeah.
Like I just want that loyal
For sure.
relationship.
So is that probably the method that you've been taking with like your socials and everything, is kind of just building that community versus just like selling a product?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of hard because it's like you want to like
is hard.
find a happy medium of like showing who I am
Yeah.
and like my family, like my husband being a resident is at the hospital. He like doesn't exist. That's what I tell him.
Yeah,
Sometimes he's
that's
like,
hard.
I have the afternoon off. I'm like, well, sorry. I wasn't planning on you being here. So we're like going to keep doing what we're doing. No, but like, and 3 kids, like it's a lot.
Oh my God, 3 kids.
It's a lot.
You're busy.
How old are they?
6, 4, and 1.
Oh, you're
Wow.
busy.
Yeah. So, and my 1-year-old, she's 15 months. She's just at that phase of into everything. I'm like,
That's the time.
I forgot about how.
Do you have family in
awful
town
this is.
to
Yes.
help a little bit?
Well, they all live here.
Oh,
and
here.
we're currently in Nashville. And so, no, we don't have family there. But we have great friends.
Uh-huh.
That's
So,
good that you have some good
yeah.
support in other ways.
Yeah. So it's like one of those things where I have to wake up at like 5 to get things done, or I like stay up till after midnight to do things.
Yeah.
So you were living here when you created this, right?
No.
Or
I
you were
was in Nashville, yeah.
Okay.
So we're almost done there and coming back to
That's
this
so
area.
interesting that you found a place in Salt Lake to work with out of all the places. Like,
I know. I tell you, it's a friend of a relative who, all our family lives here.
Okay.
And so that was kind of nice because it really was like a cousin of a friend that,
Yeah. Yeah.
that worked there. So
have you done collaborations? It hasn't sounded like you've really needed to, but
I think collaborations can be hit and miss.
yeah.
They can.
They can be hit
Very.
and
They
miss.
can.
So like
So let's hit.
Let's hear a
hit and a
let's
miss.
talk about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Let's
hit
talk
and a miss.
about
Hit and a miss.
some collaborations. So
Yeah.
when it went viral,
Yeah.
I had a lot of people reach out
To collab with
to
you.
collaborate,
I'm
which
sure
was
they did.
great. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like very hesitant. I was like, hey, thanks. Like, I'll let you know. I'm still in the beginning of everything. And I also don't want to like have somebody else promote it when it's not even here yet, right? Or I
100%.
don't want my customers that pre-ordered to be like, I wanted them to get the product first before sending it to people to be like, look at this. Because they're like, oh my gosh,
I feel it.
I pre-ordered that like 4 months ago. How does she have it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wanted the people that had the pre-orders to have the product first. And then I reached out to a handful of people that reach out to me. I feel like a lot of times they say like micro influencers are like smaller or more loyal to their who they follow or trust, like, you know, whatever. So I had a variety of people that had X amount of followers or this amount. And I put them like a PR package together of like a bath bomb and a hair scrunchie and like something that I love is a bath with Netflix and candy. I don't know why.
That's
it
nice.
Just is like
that sounds nice.
Kids are, you know,
Yeah.
not nagging me for my treats and I can just relax and not have to change diapers.
Make sure you lock that door.
Yeah, seriously.
And there's been a few times when I've had my 4-year-old come down. He's like, I'm like, you were supposed to be asleep. He's like, can I have a Starburst? I'm like, oh my gosh. No, you can't. So anyway, so I put like this box together.
Yeah.
You know, trying to, I don't know.
Yeah, to send to the micro-influencers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened. Like they didn't post about it. They didn't even respond. Then I had...
How many people did that?
I think I did 6.
Okay.
Had you talked with them beforehand?
Yes.
And they'd kind of like
there's like an
seemed
agreement.
interested.
They just ghosted you.
Yes. And it wasn't like a contract or anything, but definitely like a, hey, I'm interested. I'd love to share your product.
Yeah.
You know,
so you'd
and I'm
expect
like,
them to
great,
share the product now.
Yes. Yeah. And
Interesting.
I even followed up with them about the spine and was like, hey, I would love feedback. Is yours sticking on your wall? Is it falling off? I'm developing this. I want to send it to you when I have it. Like, just give me feedback.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the weird one. They didn't respond.
They just didn't even respond.
They didn't even respond.
I cannot.
So
with
I
that.
had a sour.
I can't handle that.
I had a sour taste, and I still have a sour taste.
Yeah, I would still have a sour taste too.
And they were like pretty spread out. I feel like not like local to me, or not like they were like around,
like all around the United States a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's
and so I just am like, oh. I mean, that puts me out some money, right?
Yeah, and your
some
time. Yeah.
And so that was unfortunate. But then I've had a couple, what's his name? A guy who does like stuff on Amazon. Okay. So at the time, I'm currently on Amazon. Yeah. But I wasn't at the time. But he reached out and was like, I also do things that are like stuff on the internet that you might find fascinating or whatever. Okay. So my collaboration with him was great. And I saw like an increase in orders for a couple weeks. And he's done it when I launched on Amazon. He did another video and, you know.
Does he just do like on social or YouTube? Or?
He does, I think he does like Amazon Lives. But he does TikTok and Instagram.
Huh, okay.
So that was a great collaboration. Okay. And then I have another one that's going to be happening soon that I'm excited about, that I'm like crossing my fingers that we'll see what happens. But
it's another like influencer situation.
An influencer, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the other thing. Like, do you create an affiliate program to where, you know, they
get like a promo code and all that?
Yeah. Or like they get X amount so that they're, you know, whatever. There's like so many different ways you can go about it. Yeah. But for me, like I also, going back to like, I want people to see me as like a real human. I want like that same thing for my product. And so I have a hard time like spending so much money on this like influencer to like, what if they don't like it? Yeah. And they just want my money on a free product to just promote it. I'm like, it's a little.
Like you need someone who genuinely wants it.
Yes.
Not just because it's free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to like promote it, right? Like even some people that I follow, I feel like, I guess I don't know, but I feel like they're being genuine about what they really do like and what they don't like, right? Mm-hmm. And so I developed that trust, and I like want the same thing with my product, even with people that I'm like collaborating with.
Sure.
So
No, that makes sense.
Well,
Needs to
they're
be a
lost
trustworthy.
because
That's
you
what
think
I
if they took
think.
it seriously and, actually got you like an increase in sales and got you views, then
Yeah.
you're going to want to keep doing that with them.
for sure. Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's hard.
now they're going to have hair on their walls. You're like, send it back.
Yeah, seriously.
I need it
Return
back.
the package.
Return the package. I want my Starburst. Just kidding.
So how, I know you mentioned one person said like up to a year before they cleaned it.
Yeah,
How
I know,
often
right?
do you normally clean it? Or what
I
should you?
probably, it depends. Okay. So another big thing, like driving force too, with starting this product is when I was postpartum with my second, I lost you lose a lot of hair postpartum. Like your hormones are crazy trying to like
Yep.
get back. And so I had so much hair that I'm like, there needs to be a place to hide it. Anyway, my point of that is when I was postpartum with my third and having to clean it out, I was cleaning out more frequently because I was losing so much more hair.
So it just depends a little bit.
It just depends, right? But I would say probably honestly, like once a month or every other month.
Yeah.
You can fit a lot of hair in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't stick to your hand like old hair in there when you...
So it can, yes.
Okay.
It depends. The more hair you have, I feel like, the easier it stays in there.
Okay.
Because
like the longer length to kind of wrap up in the coils.
Yeah. Or like if you have one hair on your palm and you go in there, it's probably not going to get it off because it's not like sticky in here. And so like if you like pull it off and ball it up, you can ball it that way. Or if you just have it in between your fingers more, like push it up towards your fingers, then it like pulls it off. But if you have old hair, your hand is wet because you're in the shower. So it kind of wets it down and you might need to do like multiple swipes to like keep it in there.
Yeah.
Because you're pushing down on the old hair and doing the same mechanism for it to go on there.
Yeah.
But it does. It does. I'm not going to say that it won't come out. But But like you go on once, it's probably not going to do the job.
Yeah.
So like
that makes sense.
multiple hand swipe.
Yeah.
But it does depend on how much hair you have on your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious. I mean, it's not like that's the point, is for it to get one single strand of hair off.
That could probably go down
I was
the
just
drain.
curious.
Yeah.
For larger amounts of hair.
Yeah. But I've had people that say they clean it out. It also depends on how many times you wash your hair.
Sure. Yeah.
But I would say every couple weeks or every month or a couple months. Just depends.
That's really cool. So how did you come up with pricing for your product? That can always be a hard thing.
And that's a very hard thing.
Yeah.
I feel like they say you can do or you should do like 4 to 6 times the amount that it costs you to produce it.
Okay.
Because there's always going to be little fees, right? Like credit card, you get like $1 off of that.
Taxes.
Along the way, by the time you
Yes.
get to actually selling it, you're still have to make
or
money.
like every transaction, depending on what platform you're using to like sell it, every transaction, that platform is taking a little bit.
I hate those fees.
I know, seriously.
Sucks.
Or like shipping.
Yeah.
So I have free shipping.
For every product, for like every purchase?
Yes.
Wow.
So that was another thing.
It's a big deal.
hate shipping, but it does definitely cost into me. But I do feel like if it's a little bit higher priced and you have the free shipping, it like helps even its way out.
I can see that. Because
Yeah.
it does. Shipping holds you back so many times where I'm like going to go purchase
I know, you're
something
like,
and I'm like,
$5
nope,
shipping. Dang
nope,
it.
it's not happening.
Yeah.
Cancel.
For
I feel
sure.
like a lot of places are starting to do that though. Just pay for the shipping.
Oh, like say free shipping?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're just realizing that
Right.
they have to, because places like Amazon, it's like, how do you compete when you can
It's
just literally
true.
go right there and get
Yep.
Limit or get rid of
Yep.
that barrier.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
for sure.
That makes sense. Okay.
So yeah, that's how I definitely wanted, when I was originally doing it, I wanted it to be, I shouldn't say cheaper, but like a lower cost. But that was before I knew how much it cost to manufacture it, and do all of those things that definitely add into it.
Yeah.
And so, but you also have to look at it as like, what image do you want your product to be? Like, do you want it to just be shouldn't say another, but like a cheaper looking plastic, like dollar store type item?
Sure.
Or do you want it to be more on like the higher end type of products?
Like a luxury item.
Yes, a luxury. And I think there's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot of you have it priced high enough that people, this is generalizing, but people that have money, like want to buy more expensive things because they have the money. Then you have the people that don't quite have the money but want to buy a higher end thing because it is nicer, right? So you have to like have the sweet spot of like the higher end people that don't want to just buy something that they think is junk or cheap. But then like meeting the middle of like the people that are like, okay, like I'm investing in this like luxury thing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
To find like that
for sure
sweet spot.
So you just need like a Gucci version of this.
Exactly.
Or like a Chanel Porcupine.
Collab. That would be the collab.
Yeah, I think that collab would work.
That one would be good.
I would do that.
And then like a Trader Joe's collab.
Trader
Joe's.
Yeah, everyone likes Trader Joe's.
Everybody does like Trader Joe's. There's something there for everyone.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Wow.
So with the box, do you do all the packaging yourself?
So it came to me. So I helped design it. The first box that I designed, I have like a little card insert on there that has like, it says something to the effect of everyone's hair has a story. Let Porcupine be a part of your story. Okay. Which kind of goes back to the whole like postpartum hair loss. Yeah. Like people could be having like health issues as to why there's tape on the bottom. You could probably.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll open it later.
But it has like my face on it, has like that little like slogan, and then it has like instructions on the back. My first box has my face on the box.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm like, at first I'm like, okay. Like the people I'm working with are like, they want to like get to know you. You're the creator. I'm like, okay, and then I got the box. I'm like, my face is on like
the whole front.
No, it's on the back, but it's like going through the mail. The people would be like, "Who is this?"
So funny.
I'm like, that's a little creepy. So we'll just like put it back to the card that's on the inside.
Yeah,
I don't need my box anyway. So the team overseas packaged it and sent it to me. So it's like in like a little plastic thing in there so that the silicone stays nice and doesn't get like fuzzies and stuff on it. But then I do have to, this came packaged with as well, like with the 3M tape. But I have to insert this into those and then tape it.
Yeah, put them all together.
Yeah, so we've got boxes.
It's not like too much work, but I'm sure it takes some time once you get a lot of orders.
It does. There's just so many little things. Like the boxes came from overseas in a plastic bag because they tested it in a machine. They like shook it in a machine to like see
like this literal thing, like to make sure that it's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
And they noticed that it like maybe like rubbed a little bit of like the color off of the box.
Interesting.
So they like packaged it in clear packages to me so that they would stay nice.
So you have to open.
So I have to open like, it's really not that much work, but it is. It takes time.
Well, when there's like a couple hundred, I'm sure.
Yes, I have to open up the clear package and then cut the little thing, but you have to like cut it nicely because you don't want to damage the box. And then put it in, close it, and then you have like the little circle stickers that you have to do. It takes time. I definitely have porcupine packing parties with my friends.
100%.
We just get together. And
so I was going to say, how do you balance your time with running a business?
I don't.
You're a mom of 3 kids.
Yeah.
You're already right there. So busy with the 3 kids.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Is the 6-year-old working for you yet?
Yeah.
Is he doing anything?
He did his own advertising for me at school last year.
Okay.
Nice.
His kindergarten teacher sent me a text and she's like, I have to tell you this story. They were talking about semi-trucks, like transferring things to stores, and that's how things get around. And she's like, what do you think would be in semi-trucks? And his name's Lincoln. He raises his hand and he's like, porcupines. She's like, well, animals usually don't go and like, we probably don't and he's like, no, for the shower. And she's like, what? So then he went on to explain that his mom created a product called Porcupine that's a hiding place for shower hair, and he directed her to the website.
That's so
I
cute.
love
So
that.
like kindergarten, she's like, we had like the big screen. I like went to your porcupine.com and showed the different colors, and
That's sweet.
I sent one with Lincoln to school the next day for her.
That is so cute.
So I'm like, here you go. Anyway, so
Yeah.
yes, he works for me. He's walking
That's
advertisement. No, but they help put the labels, you know, when I'm shipping it and taking them out to, I can only fit so many in my mailbox, but I can put them in my mailbox and put the flag up and they'll take them. Or we'll like
That's
put them in
nice.
like the USPS bags and have to drop them off at the post office and
Yeah.
all of that. So they definitely are involved, whether I want them to
Yeah.
sometimes
They're going
or
to
not.
be there
They're
all the time
there.
helping.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Loosely on helping.
yes, and they will help. Lincoln will help hold the phone if I'm like doing a video, or they're like in
That's
some
so
of my
sweet.
reels, and
Yeah.
they find entertaining. He'll
That's
be like,
really
"Are you
fun.
putting that on YouTube?" I'm like, "No, we're just on Instagram and TikTok right now." It's like, "Okay."
That's so sweet.
Yeah, so
That's
they're
so
definitely, it's
fun.
a family.
A family-run business.
Yes, it
Support
really
a
is.
family-owned business.
Yeah. When I delivered my third,
Mm-hmm.
she was born 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And you have Black Friday.
Mhm.
So I remember I was in the hospital, like
And you were selling these for Black
I was
Friday.
selling those for Black
Yeah,
Friday. And I
okay.
was being induced, and I remember like finalizing my posts like on my phone so I like wouldn't have to do it, but like needed it because
Yeah.
I'm like Black Friday is like one of the biggest
That's a big day.
Yeah.
days. And my
Yeah.
parents were in town because she was being born. And we sat there and put spines in boxes like right before I delivered, and
Oh
then
my
shipping them like
gosh.
2 days after. It's
The
It's just
dedication.
nonstop
Yeah.
is the thing, right? So how do I manage it? I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
You
It's
just
a
go with the
circus
flow.
act. Yeah, I'm
Go
just
with the flow.
going with
And somehow
the
you're
flow.
still in business.
Somehow still in business.
Well, good for you.
So yeah.
Do you have advice for someone who's trying to maybe not, I guess, start a product or
Yeah.
pursue their business or their dream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got two things I would probably say.
Okay.
The first one is it's not like a happy advice. It'll never go as planned. It'll cost more money, and like it'll always take longer than you think.
Yeah.
So
It's the
like being
advice we need to hear.
open-minded, right?
Yeah.
Though,
The
like,
real.
yeah, you've got to
Yeah.
like just power through it. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon, right? That's like overused so many times, but it's like so true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had I think it was my sister-in-law before I like decided to like really like dive into it.
Mhm.
Throwing out the ideas, talking with them. She's like, you will never regret doing it. Even if you fail, right? Like you'll never regret it. But if you don't, you'll always wonder what if.
Yeah.
And so
100%.
like just going for it and doing it and not being afraid to ask questions, because I knew nothing. I didn't know anything about any of this, right? Down to like social media. Like I wasn't like a social media regular,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so just asking people for their like input or contacts, like if they know anybody, because like my website was built from my friend's brother, like my original one. I've switched over and done things since, but he did that.
Yeah.
The manufacturing was, a friend of my mother-in-law's coworker's cousin, whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The patent attorney was a mutual friend of somebody that I knew. The designer was a friend of the patent attorney. So like just being like not afraid
Yeah.
to just ask people,
Right.
because you'd never know like the connections or like that
They
they
surprise
might
you.
have. They would surprise you. It
Yeah.
surprised me. It was crazy.
That's really
So-
convenient that you're able to just find all those people to help you do that.
Yeah, for sure. Because Google sure was not helping me.
It is. It's really
It's
hard.
overwhelming.
It is. It's
There's
really
so
hard.
so many options.
And just the who to trust.
And who can you trust?
That's the really hard
For
thing.
sure.
Especially if you just look up like where to get something manufactured. Like, oh my
It's a
God, the list is
joke.
endless.
Yeah.
I did something similar once looking on Alibaba. And then
Yeah.
I got to Alibaba and then it was like, well, first, before we can work with you, you have to pick a vendor. Here's a list. And there's like 30 vendors
Yeah.
and you go to each vendor's site. And they all
Yeah.
kind of have the same stuff, but like a little different. And it's like, how
sure.
do you
You
just don't know. I don't know.
You
I
can't.
feel like it's all meant to just confuse me.
It is. It is.
Feel like I need to pay someone more money to do it. Like,
they're not all scammers, but people are out there, right?
Yeah.
Like when I did, so this one is my first, like, I have a video of me like sending like, I don't know if you're on Marco Polo or not, but like Marco Polo to like my friends and like my family of being like, I have this video saved of being like, this is what is in my head. Now it's out. This looks nothing like this, right? Mm-hmm. But like to me, this was like living
we've got the concept.
I'm living the
We're
dream.
here.
This is here.
Yeah.
But like trying to find like a 3D printer, like throughout the United States, it was impossible. Anyway, so.
Right? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know.
I don't know.
You're the expert. That's why you're here to
yeah, that's right.
answer those questions.
Now you're the expert.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our podcast today. Do we have any other questions?
I feel like we touched on everything.
I think we hit a lot of things. This is really cool. Okay, so where can people find this to purchase from you?
Yeah. So website is yourporcupine.com.
Okay.
Social media, TikTok and Instagram is your.porcupine.
Instagram.
Yeah, that came out great.
That was nice.
It's a southern accent. Just kidding. So it's your.porcupine. So it's all your porcupine.
Mm-hmm.
I am on Amazon.
Great.
So you can look it up on that as well.
Okay.
And I am Prime shipping. So we got to keep that inventory up so that they can get you within 2 days. So yeah.
Have you tested this if it's good for getting anything else off your hands?
Like
Your hands are just dirty. I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
Like
But you know
baby's
what?
dirty, nasty hands. I'm
You
just thinking-
test it out and you let me know what
Alternative.
you find. Yeah, alternative.
She'll come up with something.
I don't know, spaghetti,
There you go.
right?
for
Kids are-
all those times when that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Hate getting spaghetti in between my fingernails.
That's right. Just thinking noodles, right?
Yeah.
For the hair.
That's so funny. Okay,
You'll
well,
let you
That's
have
your
to
next
let me
viral
know.
video right there.
That's
He
right.
even gets off spaghetti.
It even gets spaghetti on.
you know how people do the videos where it's like on purpose to trigger people?
Oh yeah.
Like that's where you could go.
That's
that route.
true.
It's like
I should.
purposely. It's like even if it's negative comments, they're still commenting.
It's true. I had a video that took off that had nothing to do with Porcupine. It was my kids stepped out. I said, I'm getting rid of everything that's like, I don't know, making a mess or something. And
Yeah.
they
And you kicked your kids
I
out?
kicked my kids and my husband out.
Uh-huh.
And I told my kids to act confused. And they were, so I'm like, just act confused. So they were like scratching their head. And I knew the minute that I posted that people are going to go off on lice. Because they're like scratching their heads so much.
Because it was like on this page, like a hair page.
I know.
Or
I
just 'cause they were
think
scratching
they
their
just thought
heads.
that they were being kind.
Just seeing a kid
they're
doing
like,
that.
yeah, they're like, honey, you need to check those kids for lice. Like they were dead serious. I'm like,
Thank you.
was
I
just-
will.
Oh,
I
yeah.
will.
on it. Yeah, we've already treated them for it. So.
I did think of one more question.
Oh yes,
The other name for the one that was on Shark Tank, like Harry.
Grabster.
Ew. Sorry.
Yikes. How did you come up with Porcupine? I mean, you can
Yes.
tell by looking at it, but
Yeah. So
Hairy crabster. That sounds so gross to me.
I don't know why that makes me think.
It's
I
gross.
won't say what it makes me think of.
it's gross.
Yeah.
Just use your imagination. Porcupine. Okay, so I had a list. I had my family come up with a list. We went through everything. Like locks box was one, like your locks and
Okay.
a box, like trying to come up with all these random things.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know what to do. So I actually hired somebody like that could help with that's just what they do.
With
like
names.
naming products. Name
Interesting.
storming is what we did. And we went through this
Okay.
whole process of how do you want them to feel when they hear it? Is it going to have like negative thought? Whatever. You go through all the things.
Well, important things based
Yes.
off of the other one.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and he came up with like really good ones, but I came up with Porcupine and it was on my list before. And I like so badly wanted to use one of his names just because I'm like, I just paid you money
Yeah.
to come up with names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
not even using it.
Oh, never mind. You don't know.
So I felt so bad when I sent the email being like, you know what? I just have this gut feeling that Porcupine, because he even was like, that is like, it's kind of like Apple. Like Apple has nothing to do with an apple
Sure.
in a way. Like you can go different ways
Yeah.
when you name stuff.
Okay.
But he's like, but you could think like porcupine, like people don't want to touch porcupines. I'm like, that's true.
I want to, but I know I shouldn't.
Exactly.
If I did see one.
It's very intriguing. But
People are like afraid to put their hand in this thing.
seriously. Anyway, I could go off on that too. But so I told him, I'm like, I just have this like gut feeling that I just want to do porcupine because I feel like it's different enough that like, what is that?
Yeah.
But it also kind of makes sense, like with
It's
like
not wrong.
the bristles on the inside, or like if you flip it this way, right?
Yeah.
Porcupine.
Yeah.
And so I paid somebody to just validate that what I came up with is what I wanted to.
Yeah.
What a waste of money. Just kidding.
Now that I've heard a professional come up with worse names.
Yes.
We're sticking with what I got.
I'm sure that guy that helped you was awesome though, if he's listening.
He was.
I'm sure
He is fantastic.
it took all of that to get you to realize that.
And he helped me with like the little like over the eye. There's like little like spikes on it, and helped me with fonts. Who knew that fonts could look so similar?
So he helped with the logo also
Yes, he
in a
helped
way?
with the logo and like the little tagline under it, hiding place for shower hair, since porcupine doesn't tell you what it is. Like Harry Grabster tells you exactly what it
does it though? Does it?
I'm still not sure what we're hairy grabbing. I'm not sure.
I know.
I don't know. The word grabster. I don't know.
You are, yeah, I know.
I think you went the right route.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But then we call this the porcupine, which my community actually helped me name it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we went through a whole thing where I like had them like give ideas, and then I picked like my favorite ones, and then we went like back and forth. So another thing of like making them feel a part of what, you know.
Yeah, no,
like,
that's important. That's good.
They like it more if they I don't
yeah.
know, help make decisions.
No, I like that.
And I can be indecisive, so that
And
was
they're like,
helpful.
I need this, so we need to keep helping her improve.
Yeah, exactly. What's she gonna come up with next?
Yeah, right.
Perfect supporter.
Hair grabbers for other parts of the body.
Beard hair. That's what everyone keeps telling me.
Specific niches now.
Do
Just
you
like a
clean
little
up? Do you clean up the sink after if you?
Oh my gosh, I cannot.
If you can come up with a good way to like control, it's just hard to
That's
control.
with those little hairs.
Well, it's hard because the trimmer just makes them go like everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I do my best, but
He does his best. Just like
she
you
has
do.
the face I had.
I know that's the funny part. I get it.
My technique is you have to get it when it's dry first. Like you have to just like scoop it all up dry, and then I like plug the sink so nothing can fall in. Scoop it all in the sink so it's like all contained.
Okay.
Then get it out of there, and then
With no water.
with
in
no
the sink.
water,
Okay.
and then I can use like a kind of wet little piece of paper towel or something and like wipe all that up, and then it sticks to it. But that's what I found that works best. I've seen the ones that you can like hang a big whole like
I actually
net
bought
thing,
that for my husband once.
which seems kind of helpful, but I still feel like it would miss.
It does.
It does still
And then
miss.
you
Yeah.
have this thing.
But then you have to like.
So now you have
you're like
this.
attached to the mirror,
Like,
right?
now where do I go?
Yeah,
Outside?
yeah.
I don't know.
So
So now I just have to clear off the counter first. It makes it easier to clean. Just push everything away. So if you can invent something, I don't even know.
Add this to her list
I'd add it to my list.
Yeah.
I got time.
with all of her children.
All my children.
She's got all the time in the
All the
world.
time.
Okay, well, thank you so
Maybe
much.
a helmet would be good.
A helmet?
Like a helmet that just goes over my whole head and you just trim underneath the helmet.
And the helmet catches it.
I haven't.
I'm not
this
sure
is
how
you. This is you. I just.
Take that idea and
just-
run with it.
Yeah.
He's spitballing ideas here. Loose ideas. I love that.
Funny.
You just don't understand because you don't have a beard.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't either, but my husband, I should have brought Jordan. He could have, you guys could have, yeah,
They could have figured this problem out.
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. We can end this.
Okay, we can end it. Thank you so much, Emily.
Thank you.
Buy her product on yourporcupine.com
Yes.
and follow her on Instagram, TikTok, all the things.
Amazon.
Thanks.
Amazon, buy
Yep.
on Amazon. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Also,
Thank
make
you.
sure and subscribe to this podcast, too.
Oh, yes,
if you're listening,
please.
please follow and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.